Welcome back to the third quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with my sidekick, Andrew.
Good morning. I'm going to get paid one quarter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
25 cents.
25 cents.
Times zero.
But times zero is zero. Let's get a couple of our good
I got that
in.
under control. How about Targill? We're talking about seasoning and spices and all that kind of good stuff. Go by Targill right down Wartell Avenue. You can get all your seasoning, butcher supplies, cutlery, and kitchen supplies. And that applies to everybody. Home kitchen, caterer, camp. If you're a grocery store, a supermarket, if you're a butcher shop, if you're a restaurant, they've got all the supplies and things that you need there. You can order stuff at targill.com. They'll do custom seasoning blends. You like to get those nice seasoning mix. They'll do a custom blend for you. They'll give you some of their recipes if you're looking for a certain type. They've got some already pre-done. They will do packaging for you if you want to sell seasoning, if you want to just give away seasoning. They'll do packaging in those nice cans. It'll do all the glossy artwork. I know it's good for promotional use. It's good for family reunions. Is good for promoting any type of business. If you're from South Louisiana, certainly giving a can of seasoning is a good promotional tool. Go buy Targill. And how about the Quarters Casino right there just north of Opelousas on exit 23? You can go try your luck in the gaming side. You can try your luck and eat some of that good Mexican food in the Cantina there, El Pico de Gallo, authentic Mexican cuisine, and flan that's so good for your dessert there that me and Steve both like. And they got good cold margaritas, frozen or on the rocks. And you can go next door to the convenience store and get your Stuckey's candy. You can get your Subway sandwiches. You can get your crispy, crunchy fried chicken. You can get all kind of good stuff. I think you even got the pizza slices in there if you want to get some of the pizza too. So go by, get you all your good Chevron fuel, locally owned. Tell Mr. Pat Willis we said hi. How about one more? I'll get 3 this quarter just to really mess you up. Steamboat Warehouse. Get mama away from the smell of home cooking. Go up to Washington while you're cruising. When you stop to get that gasoline there at the Quarters, just keep going to Steamboat. Great seafood, great steaks, all Louisiana type products. I mean, you know, chef owner Jason Huguet understands about Louisiana. He's grown up here. He's been a chef here. It's in his blood. You know, he goes out to the hunting camp. He knows what fresh seafood is like. He wants you to have the same kind of treatment and luxury. Great steaks there as well. Wine selection out of this world. Great beers, adult libations, good pickled Zydeco's inside your Bloody Mary. I mean, how can you go wrong? He's best of the best chef.
That's right.
Jason Huguet, Steamboat Warehouse.
Kim and Mitch Olivier asked us to remind the people that the Opelousas Catholics annual Oktoberfest is being held this Saturday, October 12th. And lots of food, lots of good time. The kids have a great time. Come out and help. That's the big fundraiser at Opelousas Catholic, held annually.
Pork dinners on Sunday, and a run on Saturday, and a fast walk.
On the death side, a couple of them that I overlooked bringing forward at the time the deaths occurred. Betty LeDoux Stansberry died, and she was buried September the 30th. And of course, I know her brother, Dwight LeDoux, and I know one of her sisters, Georgiana Ryder, here in Opelousas, and she was preceded in death by her husband. I knew him, Herbert Stansberry. So I knew several members of the family. I'm sorry I overlooked mentioning it at the time of her death. Another person who died recently was Gil Dozier, and he was a former Louisiana Ag Commissioner. I have a picture with he and Mama and Daddy over at the old Ag Arena during a political function that was taking place, and a real good picture of Mom and Daddy along with Gil. And little things happen in his life. His son practices law, and I think it's Gil Jr. practices law. I see his ads on television and all right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. So
very good.
He left family behind.
Those
had his problems, but got his law degree back and practiced law until he died recently.
That was the colorful years. Him and Uncle Dave Pierce, and then you had Bob Odom, and you had all those great colorful ag commissioners for years.
Yeah, it's now that you say it, very colorful.
I remember the white hat with Dave Pierce.
Yep. And another young man who died is Tommy Manuel from Opelousas here, who's been in Longview, Texas area for most of his, I guess you could say, his adult life. And he survived, of course, by his wife, Martha Willis. And we were talking about, you mentioned Pat Willis just now. That's Pat Willis's sister.
Right.
Martha and he lived in the, like I said, Longview area, and he's also survived by his brother-in-law, who is the mayor of Longview and from Opelousas, Louisiana, Jay Dean. And of course, Jay Dean's family still lives in the Opelousas area. And also his mama is Chick Manuel. It's Thelma, but we all know her as Chick Manuel. And she still does sewing for little special people. I know that Megan, whenever Megan needs something kind of fitted in a hurry, she runs over to Miss Chick's house, and Miss Chick takes care of it. You're loved. We love you, Miss Chick, and very sorry about the death of your young son. And one other person who died is Miss Kate LaFleur. And can't say that I knew her, but I know enough about the family, like I feel like I know. One of her daughters is Jolene Mouret, and her husband, of course, was the late Butch Mouret, H&M Provision Company here in Opelousas. And her sister is Johnny Bistrup, and of course I knew Johnny Bistrup for many years. She and her husband had insurance with me from the time I went in business, and still remember all of that. And so our deepest sympathies on their recent loss of Miss Kate LaFleur. And she was 72, age 72.
Had worked at Sam's for years and years, if I remember right.
Yep.
In Scott, when they were in Scott.
Yep. She was one of the first employees when they opened Sam's over there.
World Championship Gumbo Cook-Off is this weekend over in New Iberia. It's that second weekend in October. So go by and you can compete, or you can eat, or whatever you want to do. Don't bring your ice chest, don't bring your pets. Just bring a pocket full of money and have a good time, because it'll be good drinks, food, and everything going on, and music.
And
they got all kind of live music, 11:30 to 10 p.m. on Saturday. Friday night live music, 6:30 to 10:30.
Steve was telling us something like 52 teams have already pre-entered. So you know there's going to be a lot of good tasting going on. And usually when you buy, they give you a band, and that gives you the right to walk around and taste some of the samples, and then you can buy some of the larger samples.
There you go. How about these photos? Let's show this right here. You know, it was the 75th Diamond Jubilee celebration for Our Lady of the Oaks Retreat House. You and I go to Our Lady of the Oaks there in Grand Coteau near St. Ignatius School and St. Charles College and St. Charles Borromeo Church every year to silent retreat with the Jesuits, and it's beautiful out there. I just went out there before the whole thing started, the whole big anniversary, and that's the courtyard area. If you're ever interested in coming to one of the silent retreats with the guys, with the Jesuits, just give me a call at 351-0732, and you can spend a whole weekend in that beautiful area right there.
And even if you can't come with us, just about every weekend in the year, there's a men's retreat, and there are several ladies retreat, and a few married couples retreats.
You got it. And that's the whole big board there with the whole group. Of course, the director, Jimmy Dozat, right in the middle, who's done such a bang-up job just getting the Oaks up to date. And 75 years takes a lot of work to maintain it. And two of the ladies on the board there. And there's St. Charles Church, where the big mass was held before the event, and it's a beautiful church inside. And all the Jesuits came in. We had our two Jesuits that are residents there, Father Patin, Father Nire, both that helped give retreats. Good morning
to you all. Know them for many years. I've been attending, 45? I attended my 45th.
I think, this past year.
This past March.
You'll see Father Austini, who runs St. Charles College, in the picture. It's also Father Buddendorf, who was director there, the shortest Jesuit there for years and years. And then celebrating the Mass was Bishop Jarrell over on the right, originally from here in Opelousas, and on the left, the Bishop of Lake Charles. That's Bishop Provost, who was a priest here in the Lafayette Diocese for years. I don't know, Matt LeBlanc was the videographer.
Good morning, Matt.
KDCG television.
Matt spends most of his time now in Delta Media's Counting Crow office.
That's right.
And making ads for lots of locals. He's handled them for years and years, and he must be good, because they sure continue trusting him with their advertising programs.
And we got Father Nire, who gave a little talk about the history of the Oaks. And there, one of the board members, Jim Lopez, with his lovely wife, Babs, crossing a new little bridge they built between the church and the retreat ground. So really, really nice. And of course, Babs was gorgeous as usual. Gave me a big kiss when I saw her.
Oh, no.
She's a sweetie. She is a
Always.
sweetie. And there's Mr. Paul from down in the New Iberia area who helps organize all of us retreat captains, keeps us all in line, tells us when we're not working hard enough to get people in. Good morning, Mr. Paul. And our own previous captain, who's a retired captain now, Lucius Doucette, Dr. Lucius Doucette from here in Annapolis. Good morning, Lucius. He got a pin for being a captain. I guess it was 25 years he must have been a captain.
Yeah, he took Mr. Vernon Schwarzenberg's place when Mr. Vernon retired.
And I see Keith and Yvonne Norman creeping up there, and we got Robert Bull, and I see Greg Bourdillon, and I see Miss Marguerite there creeping up too. And then inside, we got the whole big group that does all the cooking, all the cleaning of the Oaks. I mean, they're all fixtures that, I mean.
And we have a picture of Marie, and
Miss
Marie and
Marie's
I,
in the middle. She's the dean, I guess you could say.
We both celebrated our
45 years.
45 years, 45th year.
They basically give her a standing ovation during the event. And there's Jimmy giving a talk. The bishops all talking and saying a few prayers for the patin there on the right. It was a nice crowd. I guess about 150 to 200 people came out. The place was gorgeous. The food was done by Robert Frugier. You know, he does the catering in the different reception halls. Great, great food. There's Miss Sissy Smith, who's been the secretary there for years, and her husband Jim, and that's Mr. Kelly.
John Kelly
and
from Miss Betty Lejeune.
From the Church Point area.
Yeah, but they live in Lafayette now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they kind of retired, mostly retired. He goes by, of course, and checks the cash register, I'm sure. But Scott is doing a big job. He's grown the business considerably since the son took over.
And Bishop Gerald having a little bit of iced tea. It was just a nice event. Everybody getting a little food. And I had a handful of photographs that they saved from the original 75 years ago. You can see all the Jesuits and the parish people all walking. It's in front of Old St. Charles Church, right there in Gracatow, in front of St. Ignatius. And then they walk down the street to go to the retreat house. Really, really neat. And the ladies with the white collars. I mean, I know some of y'all ladies like to look at some of those old fashions. And then in the courtyard, way on the right, you'll see that's Bishop Jean Mort, all the way on the right. And look at the altar boys in white. One of them staring at the camera, just like kids. You know, I mean, it hasn't changed. 75 years ago, I wonder who that man became and what he did. But that's all the photos from the retreat house. Let's go to what? We've got 2 minutes left. Let's go to the ribbon cutting at Farfallinas.
Yep.
Is that what we got?
That was held maybe last Wednesday afternoon, and a real nice turnout came out. Vera, we call her Vera Mott. Her husband is Jeremy, and I never pronounce the last. I just call him Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy and Vera, thank you all for the beautiful evening that you sponsored. Well attended, I might add. Vera's well known in the area, and had a good crowd that moved in and out. And the food was prepared by Kelly's Diner.
Kelly's Diner.
Yep, his two daughters served the food, and DCG was well represented.
Kim Smith, yeah. And the whole big crew. I see Miss Tammy Lamani out there.
Yep. In fact, after that, after we took this group picture here, Tammy invited me over to look at the old Delta Theater, and they really have it fixed up. It was being repainted by some of the inmates, working hard. It was probably 7, 8 o'clock, and they were still with it. Little Joe Simeon, who was the overseer of the project, had gone and bought some fried chicken, and they were right back after they ate. They were painting again. I don't know how late they worked, but they're getting it ready for some big event that's taking place or might have taken place Sunday.
And we got some sunsets here?
Yeah, or have to have a sunset, Bobby.
And we got a little bridge?
A little bridge. This is actually a big canal. That's a tugboat you see way down there. That's on the way to Natchez on highway, what is that, 105 maybe, or 125? I don't never remember numbers. And this is the rear entrance of the Grand Hotel, beautiful hotel right on the bluff of the Mississippi River in downtown Natchez, Mississippi.
We're going to have to take a 1-minute break before the last quarter. Folks, we're going to see you on the other side of 1 minute.